Welcome to Pet Pals. I'm Bethany Davidson, the Humane Educator here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. Normally we kick off our show with some of our canine residents, but we have some relatively good news in that we don't really have any new dogs to showcase for you. A lot of our dogs were on the show either last week or are scheduled for adoption. So we're just going to take this time to introduce you to some of the cats that are available for adoption here. Cats make up 60% of our population, so we always have more cats available than dogs. So we're going to take advantage of this time to be able to show you some more of those. So the first cat that we have hanging out with Tammy here is Tinkerbell. And Tinkerbell is a 7-year-old brown tabby domestic shorthair. And one of the first things that you'll notice about Tinkerbell is that she has the most enchanting eyes. They are the greenest green. They are so bright. They stick out when you're walking down the cat floor. When she makes eye contact with you, like, it just pulls you in. And fortunately for her, she has more going for her than just her beautiful eyes. She is very social. She will ask for attention. She is not afraid to say, hey, come pet me. And she has the cutest little tail. It's like the smallest tail I've ever seen on a cat that is not like a Manx or a bobtailed cat. It's so tiny. And she's just, really sweet. You pick her up, she immediately starts purring. She loves attention, but she loves attention so much, in fact, that she does not want any other cats in the house. She wants to be the sole recipient of all of your love and attention as far as other cats are concerned. So she needs to be an only cat. That's something that we've definitely picked up here. She doesn't like, playing with her neighbors through the cages. She doesn't even really like to look at her neighbors. So you want to make sure that you're prepared if you take on Tinkerbell, that she's going to be the only cat that you have while she's with you. Tinkerbell, 7 years old, lived 6 years with one family. Unfortunately, they had a baby and said that they were unable to take care of both the baby and the cat. One of the great things about cats is that they are really low maintenance pets. All you have to do is provide them with a little bit of attention each day, food, water every day, and clean their litter box once a day at the least. So if you have a big comfy cozy lap that is in need of a wonderful forever friend, stop in and consider making Tinkerbell part of your family. Because she is a senior at the age of 7, she will be adopted for a $20 reduction in her adoption fee, making her available for $77.50 here at Animal Control. Loretta is one of the many kittens that we have available for adoption on the floor right now. It seems like our kitten adoptions have kind of slowed down, so there are still a dozen or so kittens that are available, but no one's really coming in and adopting them. So if you're looking for a kitten, it's a great time to come in because there's a lot of options that are available without applications. Loretta came to us as a cat that was previously owned, but there's no information from her owners. She doesn't have a name. We named her. Previously owned here just means that somebody was providing care for an animal for a period of 2 weeks. So if someone found her and was feeding her, then then she's technically theirs. Or a lot of times they're barn animals where the the people who own the barn and kind of maintain the barn cats, stray cats come in, they live on their property, they're getting fed, and then they have kittens and they can't care for the kittens, they bring them to us. So there's a lot of different reasons why an animal could be listed as owned, but then not necessarily have a behavioral profile or a name, things like that. One of the things that you'll notice about Loretta, other than her insane level of cuteness, is that she does have a little bit of a head tilt and kind of a head shake. Sometimes she can walk a little bit wonky. She is not sick, but it's possible that she has some sort of condition that she had when she was much younger, maybe distemper, something like that, that's kind of led to that chronic state. It doesn't affect her ability to be an affectionate cat. It doesn't affect her ability to play, as you can see. So it's just something that she has that kind of sets her apart from the other animals, and it shouldn't be a reason why someone doesn't want to take her home and make her part of their family, but it is something that she will probably always have. We do have some vet notes about it that you can read further, and you can always talk to our staff about it if you have any concerns. And if you are interested in an animal and you're worried about, maintaining something, if they have any medical conditions or anything like that, we're happy to give you copies of those medical things so that you can consult your vet before you make the commitment to take them home and make them part of your family, so that you know and have a good sense of whether or not you're going to be able to continue to provide for those animals throughout their life. Loretta is about 3 to 4 months old. She's a tortie, so she could have a little sass to her when she wants. All torties can, but she's definitely cute, and she just needs someone who's willing to see beyond kind of superficial things into the amazing kitten and all of her amazing potential that she can have as a member of someone's family. Our next guest definitely stands out among the crowd. She is Sadie, and she is pure white, and she definitely, you notice her, she pops right out because all of our cages are that dark stainless steel, all the other animals are darker colors, so she just pops right out. But she's been with us for a week or so now, and she still hasn't found anybody who wants to take her home, so we're using this opportunity to maybe find her next forever home. Sadie is a 4-year-old domestic short hair, and she's had a bit of a rough go of it lately. She is a return to shelter. She was adopted earlier in the year, January, February time, and she was brought in back in December of 2017 because she was abandoned by her owner. So what it seems like is a couple separated, and she was the girlfriend's cat, and the girlfriend moved out and left the cat behind. After a while, the gentleman, I can't take care of her anymore, brought her to the shelter. She was adopted, and then she was returned because they said that she was fighting with the other cats in the house. So they had her 6 months. Sometimes 6 months is long enough for animals to adjust, and sometimes it's not. Sometimes it takes them much longer. So it could be that she just wasn't comfortable in that house, wasn't comfortable with that particular animal, or it could be that she would be better as an only pet. And just like people have people that they like and people that they don't like, cats and all animals for that matter have other animals that they really like and other animals that they don't so much like. So it could have just been a personality clash. They say that she is a little shy at first, which we've seen here at the shelter, but then quickly warms up to people. But maybe based on their experiences, her previous owners are saying she might not be so comfortable around other animals. She's not necessarily hissing at her neighbors in the other cages that I've seen. All the cats have a tendency to kind of stick their heads out and kind of look at each other when they're being petted by volunteers. But I haven't seen her doing a lot of hissing and things of that nature. It does say that she enjoys her late night lap time with her owner, and as you can see, she's settled in quite nicely on Tammy's lap and is perfectly content to just sit there and get lots of attention. If you are interested in Sadie, you can stop in and visit with her here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. Our location is 1832 Rosemont Avenue. This petite little girl is Jolene, and even though she looks like a kitten, she's actually 2 to 3 years old. She weighs in at just 6 pounds 7 ounces, and she came to us with some kittens of her own who will actually be on the show later. So all 3 of them came in together. We have them separate just so that they have more space. But if you're looking to take home several cats, then there would be a good choice because they are all familiar with one another. So it's Jolene and then 2 3 to 4 month old kittens who we have named Shark Boy and Lava Girl. So the kittens are hanging out together, and Jolene's getting a little bit of break from mom duty, and so she has a little bit of her own space. She is color-coded orange, which means she's individually average. She likes to do what she wants to do when she wants to do it, which is a cat for you. She seems a little bit more reserved in her cage, and in here she's kind of okay where she's at, but she definitely wants to get down. It could be because she's feeling a little bit uncertain in a new space and she wants to, hide, or she just wants to explore. I haven't spent a great deal of time with her because she's relatively new to the adoption floor, so we're still getting to know her as we did not receive a personality profile from her owner. This is another one of those cases where they were owned, but they didn't have names. There wasn't a lot of information given, so we named these cats, and our volunteers are helping to figure out, you know, their personalities and what they like and don't like. As we mentioned earlier, all of our cats will be spayed or neutered before they leave. 9750 covers all of those things. Another thing that it covers is your county license. A lot of people don't realize that cats and dogs that are 4 months old and older in Frederick County have to have a county license. So that is part of your adoption fee when you come in, but then after that, it is your responsibility to renew your county license every time you renew your animal's rabies vaccine. Those two things run hand in hand and they expire at the same time. County licenses can be purchased here at the shelter. If you have an animal that's altered, then they are $7.50 a year. If your animals are unaltered, then they're $15 a year. We can sell you licenses for 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years, depending on the length of the running time that's left on your vaccine. Our address, if you want to come in and adopt Jolene or any of the other cats, or if you need to purchase a county license, is 1832 Rosemont Avenue, and we are open to the public 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. So we mentioned in our last segment with Jolene that she had some kittens that were available for adoption as well. These are Jolene's kittens. So this is Lava Girl, and that is Shark Boy over there with Tammy. And they are almost as big as she is. So she's 6 pounds and change, and they are about 3 pounds, 13 ounces. So right up there at that 4-pound mark. So they are basically the same size as their mom. They came to us again, the same circumstances, you know, owned, but no real information about them, no names. So we gave them some names here, and then you can see that they're both very playful kittens. They're quieter kittens on the adoption floor, actually. They like to cuddle up together. These guys are housed together, but they are not required to be adopted together. But it's always my opinion that if you're looking for multiple cats, take 2 that already know each other, because it makes it a little bit easier. And sometimes kittens, it's easier if you have 2, because then they have someone to keep them company. Kittens love to run around and play and get into trouble, and they can be a little needy, if I'm being truthful. They can cry when they want attention, just like any other baby. So when they have a friend or a sibling there to keep them company, they feel a little bit more secure. They are going to play with each other instead of maybe trying to play with other things in your house, like your blinds, or you know, knocking over your plants and putting dirt all over the floor, those types of things. If you were to adopt 2 cats from us, then you do get a $20 reduction in your adoption fee for taking 2 home. These guys are a Torby over here. This is what Lava Girl is. She is a Torby with white, and then Shark Boy over there is a brown tabby with white, and they are both just bundles of cuteness. So that's going to wrap it up for the first portion of our cat-only show. If you stay tuned after the break, we'll introduce you to several more cats and kittens looking for forever homes here at Animal Control.
Hi there! I'd like to tell you about a great opportunity for homeschool families right here at Fountain Rock Park. Our staff is dedicated to the idea of presenting science and nature concepts to all children, and with this in mind, we've developed an all-new series of homeschool classes. Subjects include animals, trees, geology, weather, and more. At Fountain Rock, the emphasis is on active, engaged learning. Our hour-and-a-half programs contain equal parts of class time, hands-on time, and outdoor exploration. For more information, check out recreator.com or feel free to call us.
Welcome back. Frequent visitors to the shelter know that our cat floor is kind of split up into two areas. So we have our non-green dot side and then what we call the green dot side. So it's very common for cats to get upper respiratory infections or colds when they're here in the shelter. That happens because there are a large number of them. They're often scared, stressed, so their immune systems are suppressed, and probably the number one reason is because people are not cleaning their hands when they're going from one cat cage to the next. So they're spreading those germs, which is why we always ask everyone who's interacting with the animals to clean their hands between each cat. We do provide hand sanitizer throughout all of our facilities here so that you can make sure that you're doing that. But the cats that we showcased on the first half of the show are those non-green dot cats who have not been sick before. And all of the cats that you're going to see in this half of the show are ones that have already had that cold and are recovered and now are on that other side of our adoption floor. The first one that we have for you is Pat, and he's about a 3 to 4 month old kitten, and he came in with 4 other kittens, and they have all kind of been scheduled or already been adopted, and he's the last one. And he actually is part of a litter of 9. The person who had them on their property was able to find homes for the other 5, but then she had 4 left and she was just unable to find good homes for them. So she brought them to us so that we could do that. And Pat's kind of the last one who's looking for a new family. He is kind of I call him a bit of a bruiser because he's a hefty boy. You pick him up and you think because he's so small that he's going to be a light guy, but he definitely has a little weight behind him. And he loves to play, and he's just kind of a typical energetic kitten. He's not so much into the cuddling as maybe some of the other cats that we've had on the show before. But he's doing a good job of proving me wrong right now. Like when you go by his cage and you pick him up, he's just all squirming and wants to get down and play. Kittens are constantly changing. When you get an older cat, you kind of know that's what they like, what they don't like. Kittens are still developing, so their personalities aren't set. So they might be cuddly today and tomorrow they're not. So you definitely, when you're adding a kitten to your home, have to be open to whatever they are ultimately going to be like. If you want to take a chance on Pat here and make him part of your family, you can stop in and visit with him here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. We are open to the public 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. Our location is 1832 Rosemont Avenue. We've brought you another set of litter mates, if you will. These guys are Levi and Pyro, and they are 2 years old. So Tammy has Levi, and he is the bigger of the two. And then over here with me is Pyro, and he's just a little bit smaller, couple pounds smaller. And they came to us because their owner was having some issues, couldn't keep them because, you know, for a lot of reasons is their landlord says they can't have them, which is why we always call landlords to make sure that you are allowed to have the animal that you want to adopt, because we don't want animals to be coming back to us because the landlord found out about them. You really want to make sure that you're talking to your landlord. If you want to have a pet, there are lots of pet-friendly apartments and rental facilities so that you can have the pet that you're looking for and still be, you know, within the limits of what your landlord expects of you. And then obviously if you own your own home, we still are going to check the tax record, but you can obviously have the pet of your choice. These guys are super cute. They are not a bonded pair per se, but they really do enjoy each other's company. They play together, they cuddle together all the time. So if you're looking to add a couple of cats to your home, these guys are a great option. The thing is, again, we've talked about this on the show already, they're older, so you know what you're getting into. They love to cuddle and they love to play, and they can be independent, but you know exactly what you're getting into. Previous owners said that they can be lap cats, but they're also independent-minded, will go off and play. They are kind of high-energy cats. They will try to escape their cage because they want to get out and go explore. They have just kind of big boy personalities. They are always out looking for adventure, if you will, and they're just each other's adventure buddies. But once their day of adventuring is over, they like to curl up and cuddle together. It's like a little circle, you know. They each kind of have their heads together, and then they wrap around, their tails are kind of entwined. It's super cute, and we would love to be able to say that they get to have that kind of relationship and bond that they have with one another forever. You do get $20 off when you adopt multiple animals, so you would get $20 off for taking both of these boys home with you. They have already been neutered, so it will be a relatively quick turnaround, as we no longer have to worry about putting them on a surgery schedule. And their adoption fees, if you were to get them individually, would be $97.50 a piece. If you were to get them together, then they would each go home for $87.50 a piece. If you're interested in them, please stop by and visit. We are open Monday through Saturday. This big guy is Kit, and he is definitely one of the bigger cats on the adoption floor. He's 14 pounds, 3 ounces, and he just feels so much bigger than that. He just looks so much bigger than that. He has like this big round tomcat face. He's just quite a handsome guy, the type of cat that's just gonna keep you warm all winter long. It is summer now, but it's turning into fall, and before you know it, it's gonna be cold. You need somebody to keep you nice and warm at night, and I think Kit is well qualified to do that. He's a 4-year-old domestic shorthair, gray tabby and white. He is a little bit shy right now. He's feeling a little camera shy. We took him out of his comfort zone, out of his cage where he feels safe, and so he's trying to hide a little bit. Cats do that thing where they feel like if you can't see their face, they can't see you, then you can't see them. So he is going to be much more open when he's in an environment that he feels comfortable in. And Kit was brought to us because they said that he was spraying and that their child was allergic to him. So I know from personal experience that when cats feel very anxious in an environment, they can spray. So you can try different things. Using Feel Away is a good thing. It's a pheromone that can help make them more relaxed and ease that anxiety. Or you can go up a step and do the different types of anxiety medications, which worked really well for my cat. But sometimes it's just an environmental thing. We chart when people say that animals are not using their litter box. And when Kit arrived, he started using his litter box right away, and he's not had any issues here. So it could have been purely an environmental thing. They had other dogs. They had dogs in the home. They had kids in the home. So it could have been any of those things. Loud noises. Maybe he was afraid of the dog. Maybe there was a lot of fast movement. They didn't say how old the kids were. So it could have been any number of things. But here, we have not seen that issue from him. So you want to make sure that you're looking at it from all sides and understanding that just like we have things that are going on with us and make us behave a certain way, animals can react to their environment as well. So don't overlook him just because he's had an issue in the past. If you are cat savvy and feel like you have a home that will make Kit feel nice and comfortable and give him a safe haven for the rest of his life, you want to stop in and visit with him. These guys are another set of kittens that are application free, so they could be yours. They are brothers, Coulson and Ward. So Coulson is over here with me, and he is the smaller of the two, and then Ward is over there with Tammy. He's a little bit bigger. They are super sweet, super handsome, kind of that good mix, just as we've seen with all the other kittens today, of like, especially Shark Boy and Lava Girl, where they're like cuddly but also very playful. They're not necessarily itching to get down. They're pretty happy with what's going on. They came to us as strays, so we gave them their names. We made sure that they got current on all their stuff, and now they're looking for new forever homes. They are on a bottom cage, so it can be hard to see them sometimes because their coloring kind of blends in with their cage. And they are lower, you know, it's not people's eye line. So you want to make sure you're checking out all the cages because you might miss the animal that's really exactly what you're looking for. These guys do not have to be adopted together. They can be separated, but as I always mention, when you have brothers and sisters and litter mates and all that stuff, or just cats that have come in together, if you're looking for multiple pets, then it's good to get two that already know each other, because it makes that transition to your home a lot easier, because they have somebody that's going to make them feel safe and secure. And you don't have to worry about what if they don't like each other, because you know that they already do. Because if they didn't, then we wouldn't be putting them in a cage together here at the shelter. These guys are 5 months old, so they're you know, getting to that point where their personalities are pretty set. You know, they're sexually mature kittens at 6 months old, so they're not really grown-ups yet, but almost. And they are just kind of easygoing, chill, fun kittens who want to get down and explore. They just need someone who's going to give them a nice home to spend the rest of their lives in. As we've mentioned before, kittens and cats can live anywhere from 10 to 20 years, so it's important that you're taking good care of them so that they will live longer. Only half of the cats in the United States get regular vet checks, so you want to make sure that you're taking the time to get your cats an annual checkup from the vet. They'll need their rabies vaccines and distemper vaccines and all of that other stuff, and just making sure that they're okay. It is state law here in Maryland that all cats and dogs that are 4 months old and older have to be rabies vaccinated, regardless of whether they're indoor-only animals or not. And these guys will get their rabies vaccine before they leave the shelter to go to their new forever homes. Earlier in the show, we introduced you to all cats that had never been on Pet Pals before, but the last guest that we have for you today is one of our returning guests, and he is a cabana representative for today. That's another area that we have here at the shelter. We have 2 separate rooms in our kitty cabana where cats live outside of the cages. They live kind of in a community cat room, and Chester is one of those cats in our second kitty cabana. One of the smaller ones, and he lives in there with 2 other senior cats, Smoke and Bella too. And he is one of the biggest cats that we have on our adoption floor, weighing in, it says 14.9 on here, but I weighed him not that long ago just to see how big he was, and he was actually up to about 15 pounds and change. And he is the oldest cat on our adoption floor at 11 years old. But don't let his age fool you. He is quite spry. He jumps up and down on the boxes and the different shelving areas that we have in the cabana. And he is always the first one to jump down out of his bed and greet you and hop right up on your lap. Chester is definitely a lap cat. He loves to cuddle. He loves attention. He's just a little scared right now. He prefers to be feel safe in an environment that he's used to. So if you were to take him home, it would take him a minute to settle in, but then after that he's pretty easygoing. He has lived with cats his entire life. He came in with, I want to say, 4 or 5 other cats, and now he lives in the room with 2 other cats. So he does well with other animals. He's, you know, they're good with each other's space. He is really good at listening to the other animals' cues. In fact, he and Smoke are like best buddies. They're always sleeping together, like bunk beds on the shelves, and they kind of groom each other. So if you're, again, looking for multiple cats, he and Smoke get along, but then he also came in with several other cats. The last 2 that are remaining are Creamsicle and Sweets, who are a bonded pair, so they have to be adopted together. Chester could use a little bit of a diet, but then overall just kind of maintaining his vet care and making sure that he gets everything that he needs is going to be important, especially with an older cat. Sometimes they can have more medical expenses, things like getting their teeth cleaned and stuff like that. There's lots of ways that you can help out at the shelter, even if you're unable to adopt. We hope that we will see you here, whether you're visiting, adopting, donating, volunteering. The shelter is always a great place to stop in for a visit. We are located at 1832 Rosemont Avenue, and we hope that you'll tune in again next week when we have more animals to introduce you to.